Hello, everyone! Way, bibble. Can you hear that? Can you hear that? That's my wife being silly. She's in a very silly mood at the moment. It's for a multitude of reasons. We were very healthy today. We did a lot of walking. A lot. Both of us. We did, she did more than me. I did a lot yesterday, though. Because yesterday, well, I'll tell you in a minute. So, we're doing some Sonic. I meant to say Knuckles. We're doing some Knuckles. Yeah, that's why I paused in the middle of the word Sonic, because it wasn't correct. Evening, and, yeah, we're doing some Knuckles today. It's mostly me. Abby's going to be here in a minute, but she's faffing about. She's not faffing about. I was joking. She's making a cup of tea for the both of us. But when she is here, it's still going to be mostly me, because she's going to be doing some imaginary gumbo. And you're going to like the fact that she's doing that when you see how good it is. This is the comic that we're both working on. Evening, Pogue. She's in a very silly mood. So, we've had a lovely bolognese. No, meatballs. You know, imagine a bolognese except meatballs. Hey, I found the secret telly. We're working on the drain. Brilliant. That's a good start. Oh, you can be working over there, Abby? Waiting for the tea. Right, fine. You don't mind me having a little go by myself then? Yeah. Okay, so here I am playing Knuckles, and I basically can't remember playing as him before. This feels like it's the first time I've done this. Why is this in total surround sound? This is great. I've got it coming out from behind me and everything. Oh, I know why. It's because I'm on the wrong input, and it's treating it as a stereo input, and it's spreading it out to behind me. Well, I accept. Pokington asks, and this is a question for you, Abby. Well, Ender Eagle says in all caps, yes, imaginary gumbo, I need it. And then Pokington says, when the comic comes out, does it become existent gumbo?
No!
She says no. Oh, that's right. I had some thoughts about gumbo that I was going to put to Abby earlier today, but I failed to remember to do so. And we just listened to My Favourite Murder instead. Look where I am, I'm way up here. This is fun. You can probably get here as Sonic, but I didn't. Dip. That is a no. Whoa, hey. Oh, what do we have here? It's Eggman's director's chair, but is it a thing? It's a thing! Now, how do I pop things as Knuckles? Oh, okay, it's the same. So, for some reason, I keep thinking that they've put in some kind of punching mechanic. It would have been quite good, but... Oh, a little mouse! Oh, those were always rare in the old games. Well, I say they might not always have been rare, but they feel rare because they were not named characters. Presumably he's called Squeaky. Hey, I've got a zinger. A zing shield. Whoa, no. If you don't know... Hey, I've got a zinger. Brilliant. If you don't know, the little animals inside the badniks were named characters in both the UK and Japan, and they had different names in both of those places. In Japan, and I can't tell you which is which, they were called Ricky Picky Pucky and Cookie. Don't think there was a Pecky. Pocky. You think Pocky is what? The pig? No, you're thinking of Porky. And hey, and of course, Flicky, the bird named after the Flickies in the game Flicky. Oh wait, no, I think actually just the main bird in Flicky was called Flicky, and the little Flickies were called something else, Chirpies or something. But that's all right. He's coming past. But in the UK, they were named as follows. The rabbit was Johnny Lightfoot. Cool. That penguin there, he was called Tux. Who else was there? There was Joe Sushi. We've already mentioned him previously. The walrus. The pig was called Porker Lewis, a take on presumably Parker Lewis from Parker Lewis Can't Lose, the other TV series to rip off that fella's Big Day Off. What was his name? That chap who was the Lion King, his Big Day Off. Matthew Broderick's Big Day Off. What was that called? Right, what are you trying to do back there in the dangerous place where you can knock speakers over?
I'm being careful.
Right. What was that called? What was Matthew Broderick's Big Day Off called? It was nearly called that. Ferris Bueller's Big Day Off.
Big Day Out.
Big Day Out. Vic Reeves' Big Day Off. Well, anyway, two things copied that. One was Parker Lewis Can't Lose, and the other was Saved by the Bell. And one of those I obsessed with entirely at the time. At the same time, I was obsessed with Sonic 3. The other of which couldn't possibly give a monkey's mate. And sure, it wasn't shown in the UK, so I don't know who was laughing. And of course, let's bring out the big guns last. The squirrel was called Sally Acorn. Oh, a name that they Saved by the Bueller. Nice. A name that they decided for some reason to use in the American cartoon. And I know why. I'm pretty sure I know why.
They also had Johnny Lightfoot in the first.
They did. Here's the thing. Sonic the Comic.
Oh, and don't forget Joe Sushi.
I don't forget Joe Sushi. Sonic the Comic, the UK Sonic Comic, brought out a special issue called Sonic the Poster Mag. And it was a big poster folded up. And on the other side was a load of comics. Try to go up. Damn you. Lads, camera action. How do I get up? This is a trick of... I never knew how to do this in the Badong Bopty Bopty zone either. What's the Badong Bopty Bopty zone called?
Badong Bopty Bopty?
Yeah, you know. Badong Bopty Bopty diddly diddly diddly.
Oh,
Chemical plant zone, right. How did you get onto the... Look, this, Abby. How did you get onto the other track? Because I want to go up and I can't. Oh, damn. Alright then. Sonic the Poster Mag, then. The first one, most of them were just comics on the other side, but the first one was better than that, because it was a factual magazine with a poster on the opposite side. Hey. Bum, bum, bum. Whip-bip-bip-boo-doo. Whip-bip-bip-boo-doo-dip-boo-doo. And this poster was about... Oh, that's cool. This poster... No, not the poster. The other side to the poster was a factual magazine about the upcoming Sonic cartoon series. And this was the first we'd heard of this, that there was going to be a Sonic cartoon series. Oh, actually, there might have been a very brief news special in a previous issue, but this was the first, like, time we really got any information about it. And the big news, the really big news was that even though they told us there was going to be a Sonic series... Actually, it had emerged that there was going to be two. And in the first series, it was Sonic and Tails versus Dr. Robotnik, and there was a picture of the new design of Dr. Robotnik. But the second one... Why, the second one was going to be even weirder than that. And there were various pictures of the second one. And these... I don't think, like, were in print anywhere else. I think that you can probably find it on the internet. But I bet it's a scan from this British magazine. And what it was a series of what we now know was concept art. But at the time, we just assumed that it was like screenshots. And the concept art was basically, it looked a lot like Animaniacs. It was drawn in that kind of style. And it had Sonic in various situations, one of which was he was Sonic wasn't in this picture. There was a kind of conveyor belt and it said like the roboticizer or something like that. I don't know if it said roboticizer or a different thing, but whereas the actual cartoon ended up having this like weird faux dark tone, What did he say about the Pokemon anime? Did he?
Does anyone else here on the road to Viridian City from the anime when this special?
We're on the road to Viridian City! Was that the first album you bought me?
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Not that you bought me a load of albums as time went by.
I bought you that, but this is after you'd bought me my,
Oh yeah.
a video game.
That's right, That's right.
The first present you ever got me.
No. Really?
So it was my birthday.
Wow, hey. By the way, you're about to hear some tales of good boyfriending, I think you'll find.
Yeah.
Lean in. Lean into the
Not only
mic.
that, but I'm pretty sure you sent me flowers.
I did. I sent you flowers once. Never happened again, did it?
No, but that was, like, I'm not the sort of person that's that interested in flowers.
No, it was a...
But as a kind of thing that just happened, it was like, oh, well, that's cool.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, that's fine, I don't need any more. Like, what do I do with them?
Look at how she's internalized the fact that she never gets any flowers.
You make me cups of tea, that's enough for me.
I do.
More useful.
But yeah, when I was a teenager and, you know, capable of care and attention, well, you tell him.
Okay, so, he sent me this lovely letter.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, big letter explaining.
I massively mansplained the present.
Dave could never, like, you know, introduce me to something that he grew up with without explaining everything that made that thing important to him.
More about Sonic the Poster Mag after this story.
But it was also really nice. And what he'd sent me...
First present, ladies and gents.
Yeah, first present. Was a copy of Link's Awakening on the Game Boy.
Yeah!
And it was amazing. And
Yeah,
I
it
loved
was.
it. But there
It was the brand new colorized version.
I'm sure somewhere at
Bum,
home
bum, bum.
I still have that letter you sent me. I never got rid of
Oh.
it. Yeah.
It was the brand new colorized version sent deliberately to you because I knew you didn't have a color Game Boy yet.
I did not.
And the color version of the Link's Awakening DX, they called it, would play in its standard color mode. Not just like it wouldn't render the color, it actually changed the graphics back to how they originally were if you played it on a normal Game Boy. And I knew that one day Abby would have a color... a color Game Boy. Exactly, Leslie.
Really
The
is.
best of Zeldas.
Like, I love Link's Awakening.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's a lot of things about that are special to me. Not only the fact that it was the first... And I was kind of shocked because I didn't know I didn't know yet that he felt the same way about me.
Really?
Yeah.
What, even though I just sent you a full-price video game?
No. This was the thing that made me realize, oh right. He likes me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that how that happened?
I'm pretty sure.
We weren't a thing, and I sent you a new copy of Link's Awakening?
Yeah.
Whoa, that's quite a play. Good work, Dave.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
Oh dear. I'm pretty sure that was the first thing he sent me, and it was like before we met up.
Whoa.
I already liked you.
No way, it can't have been. Kairu says, I was told specifically that was not true of Link's Awakening DX. Of what? Yeah, Bo. Right, what am I supposed to do? Because all that happens is, I can't get past these missiles. I seem to remember I was guiding them into this guy, but like, they don't go into him. And I can't jump over them.
You've got to jump on the ones that look like a fist.
Oh,
Not a fist, the big fat ones.
bullet bill ones.
Yeah, spin on them. There you go. Oh no!
Okay, I got it though. That you can play it on a normal gamer. Nope, you could. You absolutely could. And not only that, roll into the... Not only could you, but yeah, it replaced... There was only one little...
I totally played it on a normal Game Boy.
Yeah. I don't know if it took out... Presumably it took out the camera and the photographs, and certainly the new colour dungeon. But what it also did...
Pilkington says sidestep to the right.
This is certainly a nightmare. But...
Do you ever go?
Yeah, if you like.
Well, yeah.
I want my comic made.
I know.
But I did notice in my own experimentations that the grass, which was completely redrawn for the colour version, which I am against, or at least I was at the time, it's fine now, it actually displayed the original graphics. when you played it in black and white. So I feel like there must have been a separate like ROM on the cartridge. Now then, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, Sonic the Poster Mag. So there were various pictures of Sonic drawn in a kind of Animaniacs-y style. One was this roboticizer, which was a big conveyor belt going into a machine, and robots coming in, like people going in and robots coming out. There was one picture that had Robotnik visible, and he just had this nightmarish face. He was just like this screaming thing with a very, very thin moustache that kind of curled off in a funny way, and just black eyes. Which was definitely the first step along the road to the design that they eventually used in the SatAM cartoon, because he had the kind of moustache that character used. But the most interesting thing was a picture of the quote Freedom Team.
Yeah.
And the Freedom Team. Now, here's the thing, right? STC started calling them the Freedom Fighters around this time, and I've never been able to ascertain who did it first. Nice one! Well done, Abby! But yeah, the Freedom Team consisted of all the characters from STC, stroke the UK continuity. It was Johnny Lightfoot, it was Joe Sushi, it was Sally Acorn, and they all look like, basically if you imagine the Sonic version of the Lunatics. Do you remember when they did Bugs Bunny but tried to make him look really cool? Imagine that.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
Johnny Lightfoot in particular, I thought he looked great. Yeah. He was like, he had these sunglasses on, oh look at that, and a big grin.
How good that was.
And he just looked amazing. And I learned to draw him, and he kind of looked like a mascot for a cereal or something. You know, it's that sort of design. Sally Acorn was
just generic.
A sort of generic woman character. She had a red dress, I think, in a sort of low-cut-ish one.
She kind of looks like an animal version of Pauline.
Yeah, an animal version of Pauline. That's a good way of putting it. A diddly extra life.
Oh, Pauline's going to be in that new Mario game.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And then there was a picture of like Sonic trying to kiss her, and she was holding out a fish for him to kiss because he had his eyes closed.
I think I remember that because I remember someone's fan art of that.
Oh yeah.
Like drawn exactly the same.
Yeah, in the letters page.
The letters page. And I was like, hey.
Yeah.
Just the same as that.
Doodly 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 doodly. And
Nah, I think Breezy was way more over the top.
Breezy?
Remember?
No.
Like the second episode of Sonic Adventure.
Oh, what? That woman
it was a robot.
who was a robot and seduced Sonic.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, she did look a bit like that though. A little bit. But the thing is, it was interesting to see how that became SatAM, because first off, it already had. Because there were pictures of SatAM also in the same magazine, or rather they were just like designs from it. So they did have a picture of the final design of Robotnik, and they were like, Robotnik's in this as well, but he looks like this time. And this made me, I remember thinking, oh, so we can just draw Robotnik as anything we want. Like, that's the rule about Robotnik. You can just make up your own Robotnik.
And it's funny, it annoys me now, because no one has ever done the best Robotnik design in a cartoon.
No.
No one has ever done it.
No. Oh, except that
one. An amazing pilot.
Which I think must have fed into the creation of both series, because it had that Animaniacs style.
Yeah.
And it had that, what's it, the Greek thing? What's it called? The Mountain King?
Oh, yes. Oh. Yeah, I forgot what it's called now.
Yeah, we didn't have. That's no good. We never had those. We didn't have them on He-Man.
I do remember seeing them on Mask though.
Really?
Yeah. That's why I've always got the joke about PSA's cartoons, because I used to watch Mask.
Yeah.
But I was shocked when I found out that they were on Sonic as well, and some of them were a bit dark.
Yeah, exactly, lifting. So all of this fed into the final cartoons, and particularly I'm convinced that their version of Joe Sushi, who is the little walrus, who, remember, when he's called Joe Sushi, there'd been no other version of Joe Sushi. There'd already been the STC version of Johnny Lightfoot. He wasn't quite the leather jacket wearing freedom fighter yet, I don't think. Maybe he was, I can't remember. But
it was after that,
right.
That he was one of the ones sent forward.
Oh, look how haunted he looks. He's shuddering when you get rid of his things. Sorry, mate. Wait, it's okay, he's really a mouse. That was the mouse being sad, and we've let the mouse out now.
So sad.
Oh, God.
Quite upsetting.
See if I can get on top of this. Sorry, I'm dallying. As Knuckles, you have to try and explore every weird way you can. Whoa, they got that old bug back.
The lights up on the top.
Yeah.
Nice.
But the, I suppose, if you like Pokington, yeah. But,
oh, but imagine someone doing a proper good...
Oh, with a big ball on.
Robotnik, yeah.
Hello. Eggman gyrate. Eggman gyrate.
Pirate team!
Oh, hey!
Hey!
Wait.
I like that.
Is it pirate if it's Dr. Eggman?
I don't know.
By the way, I'm always going to call him Dr. Eggman. Because that's a name. Dr. Eggman is not a thing. But there could be a person called Dr. Eggman. There could be a person, like... Or, if you prefer it to be a description of what he is, then let's go with the word human. Eggman.
I still like my thought where,
What's that?
like, little animals just thought he was an Eggman.
Yeah.
And he's like...
But he's actually going, my name's Robotnik.
My name's Robotnik.
Bidip, 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 boop, bidoop, dip.
I have tea.
Oh, I have tea.
You do have tea.
Can't really drink it while I'm doing this.
Yeah, you had the perfect opportunity when I killed that boss for you.
So Johnny Lightfoot had already been more proportionate to Sonic Rabbit. That's basically how STC handled it at first. Rather than having the, the little animals and Sonic, they made them basically look like Sonic. They didn't change their design, they just changed how big they were, basically, how tall they were. So that was the first time Sally Acorn was kind of given that body, I suppose. I mean, it wasn't sexualized like it was later on, but it was proportionate to Sonic's in a way. But I don't think that ever happened to Joe Sushi. They just basically didn't use him because, what the hell. So it was weird when he was in the designs for this cartoon as this sincerely hench,
Yeah.
amazingly muscly man. And basically I'm 100% convinced that that's what Rota became. Or rather, that's what became, well, Boomer, which then became Rota, for the cartoon series. Because it's just, you can see all the steps along the way. I really think that kind of taught me about... That was an early lesson in development, and how these things shake out. There you go, that's all. I've exhausted all my talking for today.
Robotnik being a silly ball, though.
What was wrong with Robotnik being a silly ball, though? Exactly. He's a silly ball. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I mean, okay, so
You could have so much fun animating him. That's all I'm thinking.
well, there is an answer to that, which is that in Adventures, there's a design document for Adventures, which is done by who is it? I mean, he might have worked on Ren and Stimpy or something. It was.
Is this the guy who's like, he has to be sexy?
Yeah.
Like, I love that. Like, they specifically went, we have to draw Robotnik sexy. I love it.
And that's a nice cup of... What have you done to this?
I don't know. It just...
Have you put 10 sugars in it or something? It's lovely.
No.
Oh.
He's really happy with this tea. Yeah, we saw an interview with the guy who designed Robotnik, didn't we? And animated him. And he was going, yeah, you gotta give him a nice arse and...
Yeah, he's gotta swing that arse around.
I know, Kairu, but I just love the name Robotnik.
What's he said?
That it's silly renaming things from Japanese games when they're already in English, like Fang or Eggman.
Well, you're right in one sense, and I agree generally speaking. But when it's Dr. Eggman, no, I'm a Robotnik boy. I mean, but that's because that was his name. You know, I'm not pretending that that's like a better name.
No, but I mean, I don't hate Eggman, but yeah.
But by the way,
I still like to call him Robotnik.
Robotnik, right? We don't call him Robotnik. We used to. There was a time. I mean, it could even have been the cartoon that stopped us calling him Robotnik. Dr. Robotnik, I don't know. But, so we shouldn't have to say Dr. Eggman. I'm saying Robotnik and I'm saying Eggman. Because it's such a cool name for that design, Dr. Eggman. Are you with me or am I just wrong? What do you think, guys?
I like Eggman. And I think that's all that matters.
It is all that matters.
But you know, if you like Eggman, that matters too.
Does?
Does.
Who does? Genesis does. Of course it does. Diddlip, diddlip. No.
Oh, Baldy's
okay.
voice for Robotnik is the best.
Baldy. So, yes, guys, I'm aware that Genesis does what?
Hold on.
He lifted.
Poggington said Genesis does what Nintendo releases games for Switch.
Whee! It's a bit like a Mega Drive shows me, only not as good.
It'll always be a Mega Drive to me. I understood that it was the Genesis in America. 'Cause we went on holidays there a few times, and I bought some Genesis games.
What a silly thing to do. They wouldn't have been compatible.
My mum and dad were really cool and ordered me a special thing
Hey!
on my Mega Drive so I could play Genesis
The
games.
Lion King!
No,
Yeah?
I had the British version of the Lion King.
No, you never. Because we've now got your American Lion King now.
What? Yeah, but I had it for Christmas.
Yeah.
I didn't get it from America.
It's American.
Yeah, but it didn't need a thing.
Alright. Evidently I'm thinking of something else.
Yeah, you are.
But it's been my copy of The Lion King we've had to play, because yours is American.
Oh.
Maybe it just got mixed up and we ended up with someone else's somehow.
No.
You can go and look if you want.
Well, something's wrong there.
Yeah.
But
Oh, do you know what? Maybe it just ended up with a different box. So what was American?
I had that haunted house game. That's American.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of that.
Which is not very good.
New.
but
New. Hey, I just did a Sonic. No. New. What's that?
I love that Mega Drive Jurassic Park game, but it's not great.
Yeah, but what goes near?
Thinking,
I want to say the launch base zone.
yeah, launch base zone. When you're going around.
Oh no, the Death Egg, the big pipes.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Near. Yeah, exactly. And before that we had, do me a favour, plug me into a Sega. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
Oh.
You done that wrong.
Oh, it's alright, it's coming back. Yeah. Oh, yes, and speaking of how exploring Knuckles is, have you guys just noticed what I've just noticed?
What?
We've got 30 seconds left. Do you know what? This is a common complaint about this game, and it's correct. It is. They have got something wrong here, which is that they've given you a game that is worthy of exploration, and they punish you for doing so. By giving you a 10-minute time limit. Oh, there was a star post up there. No way I'm getting it in 4 seconds.
You got an extra life.
I did.
Oh well.
Oh yeah, that's it. The spinny aroundy carousel ride seats in launch base. Like Knuckles, and you go around the pole. Here. That's it. So what does the tunnel in the Death Egg make? Agreed, Cairo. Interestingly, Astro's what, like Astro Boy, like the mighty Atom, Astro's template, who was Tenma's son, Tobias's name literally means flying hero.
Have any of you guys read Pluto?
Have you read Pluto, guys?
Pluto! It's like...
Pluto! Pluto! Hey! Let's have a goose. We just did opposite ends of the same gag.
It was very good if you like Astro Boy.
Oh.
Yes, it's Diviana's.
Dip-a-dip, hoppity-doop-de-dip.
It's very, very good and it's a good manga. Also, if you like robots and you like crying, it's also a good manga.
Is that your original robots crying thing?
No!
Okay, what was?
Batteries not included!
Oh! Oh, wow!
And
Yeah, of course.
Short Circuit, the first one.
Wait, when do you cry in that?
I can't remember, but
Oh!
I think it's when he squashes a grasshopper. And then I cried.
Don't remember that.
Oh, thank you, fingers.
Hey!
And then in Short Circuit 2.
Yeah.
Then through most of Batteries Not Included. Wall-E. Transformers the movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Come on, we were too old.
I know. It just was like they killed Optimus Prime. I was quite shocked.
Yeah, but you never saw it as a kid, though, right?
No, I watched it at university and I cried.
Oh, brilliant! That's the best.
I know. Oh, I'll have to give
Beats
it
the rest.
That's Diviana's.
Of what?
Atom
At the beginning. All right, cool.
That's pretty cool.
Da-da-da-da-da. Where am I supposed to go? Oh, that's all I had to do, and I would have. Oh, there's Tiviana's there with a very generic, general statement. Both manga and anime are great.
I love crying about robots.
Doop-a-dee-ba-boop-a-deep-a-doop-a-deep. Oh, I'm not gonna be in sync, am I? So, further to, I think it was Kairu's little miniature rant about naming things and changing the names in Japanese things. I'm one of the last vestiges of dreadful old man who thinks that if an anime or a manga has a name that is descriptive words, right, then the Western name for that anime or manga or game should be the translation of those words and not the original Japanese words. Because there's no point pretending. It doesn't matter, like, how much nerds have taken over the world now. Western mouths cannot pronounce Japanese words. They are very different, and they have totally different phonemes. I'm not talking about people who've, you know, gone to the trouble of learning the language or learning to pronounce particular words.
They're very cool.
What?
They're cool.
Yeah. What I mean is, the average person, for example, Ni no Kuni, that translates to something, I can't remember what it is, but it's something very close to another world. Now, it is tried and true and tested that names like that are good names for games. Such as the game Another World. Now that's already taken, so if that's what it translated to, then they would have to change it to, like, Other World, or, you know what I mean? There's various ways you can handle it, but I am of the opinion, and I seem to be I've got the volume of the music up a bit too loud, so I'm talking a bit too loud, so it sounds like I'm snapping. Like, I am of the opinion! Like, it really annoys me. No, it does really annoy me, but that's not the tone I'm trying to hit. I'm of the opinion that you should translate the names, because apart from anything else, I feel as if you just remember it more. You know, there are Japanese, for example, RPGs where I can't refer to them because I can't remember what they're called. Because to me, one string of Japanese words is pretty much the same as another, not being a speaker of the language. So yeah, there you are.
Forgot how cool this boss was. The little rain cloud had eyes on.
You can't trademark Second Kingdom? Can you trademark Another World? Okay, but you could trademark you could change the name to something Kingdom, right? I mean, there must be a word in the game that's like that's appropriate that you could change it to. Oh no, I'm not paying any attention. Okay, so I have to stand under him for that. Okay, Sun, so under him. This is a great boss.
Yeah.
And he gets all hot and bothered. Nice.
He's too close to lights.
Okay, Windy pops.
Nice.
What do I do? Just this.
Just hold on, yeah. You've got to be through the signs for that one.
Under him?
Yeah, stay under him, I think.
Okay, fine. Makes a lot of sense. What?
Oh, it's such a cute idea.
Yes!
Oh, the chicken looks so hot and bothered as well. Nice. Oh, these are really great bosses.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed them all.
This is fantastic.
Whoa!
Whoops, sorry, I was reading the chat. Can you read the chat to me?
Mr. Diana says the title is purely written in katakana as well. Oh, are you talking about Danganronpa? Because
See, Danganronpa, there you go.
understood that. But then I don't know. That seems like one of those games that I'm never gonna know what it is.
What was that anime that all the most insufferable hipsters were into?
Which one?
You know, drills. Big drills.
Oh.
Burning
no.
Spirit.
Everyone really likes that.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying all the most insufferable hipsters were into it. Those are separate things.
Remember what it's called? I'm afraid.
Tengen... There you go. I'm not even saying that out loud. Name it. Give it a name. What's that supposed... Hey, McFeely! Wow, McFeely. That's a... She's not had that sort of response to something in this game since the level 2 boss.
Nice to see you, Chris.
To see you, Chris.
Again, really appropriate.
Terribly sorry.
I've made 2 references lately to a British celebrity who's died in the last few weeks.
What was the first one?
I can't remember, it was the other day.
Oh, right, okay. It's not what's easily sayable, it's that I don't know how to say it. Tengen Toppen? Tengen Topper? Or Tengen? Like, I don't know.
But it's not just that, it's that you haven't got context.
Gurren Lagann? Gurren Lagann.
It's not necessarily about...
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything. It's just hoopty-doopty. It's just... It isn't words in a language I speak, so...
Oh, look at this animation.
Now, maybe that's me going like, oh, it's all got to be about me. But I feel like when the rest of the cartoon is translated, then, you know, by all means, for the dubbed version, keep it, but when it's... sorry, for the subtitle version, but when it's dubbed and translated, give it a name. That's all I'm saying. Now, yes, as I understand it, it's kind of difficult to rename that one because Gurren Lagann doesn't really mean anything, but... What?
Fogu said, yell Sonic Heroes incoherently into the mic.
It's a proper noun though, it's called Gurren Lagann. Yeah, but here's the thing.
Card that pops up at the end of that Weather Channel boss. Or the Weather boss.
Yeah.
The date on it, 072216, was when that Sega 25th birthday stream was.
Yeah. So anyway, you were quite right, Kairu, and so, you know, in that case, in both of those cases, I wouldn't insist it. But I'd still like it. I wouldn't insist it, I just think it would be better, because presumably, like, so, okay, when I give something a made-up name, so, for example, we named Gumbo, the character, before we knew about Gumbo the stew, right?
No, I'd heard of
Oh, you had?
it. Yeah.
But we want... Okay, so, okay, I'm wrong about that, but it's...
Like the sound.
I can still kind of use the example because we wanted something that sounded really cuddly and soft and lovely. But in another language, those syllables rather, might not sound like cuddly round sounds. Gumbo, you know, gum, it's got gum in it, and bow. But no, seriously, those are like round sounds. But in another language, they might not. And I feel as if names like Gurren Lagann and Gundam, which is a bit like Gumbo, were probably named, even if they're nonsense sounds, for a reason, with reference to you know, the sounds of other words, or just... Do you know what I mean? There's some cultural thing that I feel like you could find an equivalent for, even if what you then did was make up another nonsense word.
I like it when Japan renames Western stuff.
Yeah.
Because some of those names are amazing.
Anyway, bear in mind, I'm not saying that that's what I think they should do. I just think it'd be cool. Basically, Gundam seems fine to me, partly because it seems as if it might be short for something, or it might mean something. Gurren Lagann, that's so many syllables. I feel as if it's crying out to mean something, and I'm not convinced it doesn't mean anything.
This is on PS4.
This is on PS4. Hey!
Ow, ow, ow. Sorry.
You right?
I got cramp in my throat.
Oh dear. Andy told me today he's ended up with a PS4.
Hey!
Yeah.
Oh, I can play games with your brother.
Whoa!
That would be cool.
Yeah, you can. I mean, you probably haven't got a headset.
It's fine, you don't need one.
It came with his phone?
What?
Oh, really screwed that up. Is this going to go rings? No.
Oh, you could have jumped that.
I thought it was going to go rings. It's a pun. There we go. So...
Dave does like a pun.
I do, and I like translated puns, you know? Like, the art of trying to figure out an equivalent pun is cool to me.
Oh man, all that asterisk stuff? Yeah. 4 more days, fingers! I think Yay! Chris, every time I watch someone else playing these levels, or the other special stage, my limbs start twitching in the direction that Dave's trying to move in.
Yeah.
I get really, really anxious.
Oh, I don't know
It is
where
how my lovely old dad used to play video games.
Yeah.
He had to physically move.
Oh, you have to in the special stage. It's the only way to do it. Oh, what's Kyrie saying? It sounds like my sort of thing.
For example, the robots in Gurren Lagann are called gunmen. That's already a mix of Englishy things that they think sound cool.
What?
But also a pun.
But gunmen is...
I think
a word.
English is a lot harder to pronounce for them than Japanese is for us. Many
Right.
confusing sounds that they don't have, but we have all of their sounds.
Right.
That's understandable.
Yeah. Bum 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 bum. Beep bop boop bo do do li do do.
I think I just find it I'm quite interested in how people translate things into different countries.
It's so interesting, and to not do it just feels lazy to me, you know?
And then they know that, you know, fans of manga and anime are going to be pretty cool with those original languages.
This is it though. My worry is... So, for example, we used to watch anime.
Oh, I'm not feeling it right there.
No, exactly. We used to watch anime and didn't know. Right? Because we just thought they were cartoons. And that was fine. And I don't know why it needs to feel all foreign. And like, basically, here's where I'm getting at. When a cartoon series feels like to even say its name, you have to be a big clever clogs. That puts me off. Do you know what I mean? If you have to be a neckbeard to say the name of a thing, I reckon it doesn't exclude me because I'm a big neckbeard, and I choose on this occasion, and this is a neckbeardy thing, not to want to say Tengen Toppen. Alright, I don't know what it is.
You're not doing that on purpose there.
No, I'm not. I know Tengen. I don't know if it's Topper or Toppen or what it is. Gurren Lagann. Or Gurren Lagann. And I don't know which! I just don't know which! But...
You'd have been mad the other day in my shop.
Well, hang on, let me finish this off because I keep trying to say it. 9-year-old me, 7-year-old me, who watched... You know, what was the original name for Dogtanian and the Musker Hounds? You know, it probably wasn't that. It was something in French or whatever. What was the original name for Cities of Gold? To be honest, those were probably...
I mean, Dogtanian was a pretty simple pun.
They were half Canadian anyway, so they probably were actually called that. But anyway, point is, that kid who watched those cartoons might not have... They feel exclusive if you give them a name that kid couldn't say. That's my point. Anyway, so, what were you saying happened the other day?
There's a very popular manga at the moment called My Hero Academia. And I think I would like to give it a read. You know, a few of my friends have enjoyed it.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about that.
It seems nice.
They should break the floor the second time round, not the first time.
You always get young teenagers like asking if we've got copies of it, but using the Japanese term.
Oh, see that?
Aww.
That.
Yeah, but they're
So,
it's fine.
on the one hand, as in, that's sweet, I like them. On the other hand, when I was one, and they weren't, like, cute yet, I hated that so much. It's so arrogant to be like, well, I know the Japanese name. But fair enough, you know, now I think it's just sweet.
I don't make Dave talk about anime much.
No, Chris, I've been made not to talk about anime.
Yeah.
We have an understanding. Oh no, these are the even sadder ones. Look how sad this one is.
Oh no, they are so sad. Why would they be so sad?
Because it's been thrown in the trash and crunched up.
There's a grounder there.
He's been ground up.
There's some old. What are the fish ones called from the first level?
Oh, hurrah! No. Hurrah!
Pokemon says it's 2017 animes and he don't know.
What are they? What piranha one called? What are they called?
I can't remember. Oh, you're gonna get squished.
Yeah, I just figured that out. Luckily.
Wow!
Oh, whoa! I thought I had one more.
God.
No, not chomps. They're from Mario's. Ba 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 da do we hurrah hooray.
Got compacted.
No! Oh no, absolutely not. I don't think it's important. I think it's an unfortunate side effect of internet fan culture. Because everyone wants to feel like they're the best one. This is one of the things I'm writing about in my big Sonic script, by the way, for the big Sonic podcast thing I'm doing. Is how there was a time when only internet fans. This is about 1997, before Sonic Adventure.
Oh, no.
I've been trying.
Oh,
You can't.
I'm so sorry.
Sorry. Oh, I'm supposed to bounce off them. Right. Well, I can do it now anyway. Luckily, he squashes you into a little pit of rings, so like when you lose your rings, you don't lose them.
Yeah.
There was a time. Oh yeah, it is. Yeah. But there was a time when before Sonic Adventure came out, when internet Sonic fans had access to like exclusive information because, you know, a couple of people knew how to speak Japanese or whatever. So there was a time when calling him Dr. Eggman was the neckbeard thing to do, was like the hipster fanboy thing to do. And we called him Dr. Eggman because it made us the big clever clogs in the room, biggest Sonic fans. Like the same people who called him Dr. Eggman used to call Sonic Sonicu.
I remember that. It's like,
Sonicu! That's Japanese for Sonic. Yeah, and then Sonic Adventure came out. And here's the thing, and I'm totally owning up to this. After Sonic Adventure came out and they started calling him Dr. Eggman in the Western games, it was now the hipster thing to do to call him Robotnik. And that's what I'm doing. I am a Robotnik hipster.
oh, don't worry, Tyron. Plenty of us have got, like...
Friends.
Well, no, everyone's got something that they are particularly fanish about. And
Oh god, yeah.
yeah, it's like... But I think everyone's got a...
Mine is how long I will talk to you and will not go away if you ever mention either. I mean, what do you think I'm going to say?
I'm just going to let you say it. I know what you
Okay. Either the Mario movie or... Actually, there's a few or things. I was going to say...
PlayStation.
I was going to say the Popeye movie.
Oh, yeah.
But there's a few things. Yeah, we've all got them, and we're all
thinking of one other one as well.
absolutely insufferable. Well, and Santa Claus.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I've got no
Oh.
problem with everyone having
Every time.
things that they
No.
have particular. Like,
But we
that's
should-
how you enjoy your thing.
Oh, I wish it wasn't. I wish it wasn't how we enjoyed stuff. It's so anal. Basically, I wish we didn't have this gene, but we do. But we shouldn't.
Yeah, but I think
It's so insufferable.
I'm more chill about it now. Like, you know when you're being anal, but like, go, yeah, I'm anal about it, but it's fun.
I don't find it fun. I find it depressing when I get onto it, you know? It's like, oh, how old am I? This is how I learned to talk when I was 17, because I was competing with other 17-year-olds. Oh no, like 15, 16.
Yeah, but teenagers
And I had to be the biggest fan in the room. And it's like, oh, can't we all just be fans?
That's just how you feel when you're a teenager.
Yeah.
You want to fit in and to do that in many ways. You know, if it's not
Yeah.
being cool, liking.
Yeah, if you can't be cool.
No, but you know what I mean. And you,
Yeah.
and you sort of group your little niche you make.
Groupy little niche make.
Yeah, little niche you make. You just you do what people think is cool, and you don't
Yeah.
have it. Like whether that's being geeky or not, you just have it.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't like people. What I don't like is gatekeeping. I don't mind people being super nerdy about stuff, but don't gatekeep new fans or
yeah.
you know people who are just learning something. Like
That's it, and I'm kind of doing that. I'm kind of being gatekeepy by being like, oh, don't talk like that. But I'm doing it because maybe it's an in my day thing, but that's what the gatekeeping was. It was when people knew the Japanese names for stuff so that everyone else wasn't as cool as them or whatever, and it was gatekeeping, and I didn't like it then, but maybe I'm being gatekeepy now by... I mean, look, this is the only time I've talked about it in a long time, so it's not as if, like...
you're not telling people they can't.
No, I'm not. Don't... Just because I'm having a little whinge, don't think I'm suggesting that even in, like, this... my spaces, you should change in any way. I don't mean that, and I don't want you to. I'm just having a rant, really, about something that annoyed me when I was a teenager.
Even when you rant, it's still quite nice.
Well, I hope so. You know, I'm not. Please don't think I'm suggesting anyone change how they be.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh,
Like,
now what?
You
Hey.
did that.
I did, but I thought there'd be something on the other end. Like,
Oh, I know, because
Oh.
this is one of my favourite colour schemes for this game.
oh,
Well, you did that too.
I did.
Like, I mean, do you know what? I kind of think it's very sweet when new fans or
Where do I go?
you go through a door.
Oh, I know.
Oh no, it's this one.
No, but there was a door. I've been. This is it. This is through it.
Don't you think it's rather sweet when, like, parents get the name of a comic or
Yeah.
a video game system wrong? And
Yeah.
oh, I remember my mum doing things like that. They weren't sure about it, but they still want to, you know, get something for their kid or whatever,
Yeah.
and they're not sure what it's called.
Oh.
It's lovely.
By the way, yeah, well, maybe I think in my case it was because of this. I don't know what it was in your case, but I think because of this, I actually kind of went too far the other way, and I've now occupied this weird headspace where I'd never say the real name of anything anymore. Like, because saying the true full name of a thing is such a nerdy and weird thing to do, but I now never say the real name of anything. So, Game of Thrones, I call Gamey Thrones.
Well, I like that now.
And what else?
I still like to call Link Zelda. But there's a specific person I like to do that with.
Oh, yeah?
In the shop.
Because it annoys them or because they like it?
Because it mildly annoys them.
Hey!
But then also they like to say, well, you've got it wrong there. And I go, oh dear. And I'm not, it's not necessarily that I'm making fun of them. It's just, it's like, they obviously think I'm going to get it wrong because I'm a girl. And
Alright, so like a fan comes in expecting you to get it wrong, so you do to annoy him? I like that.
But also,
I say him. I'm making assumptions there.
no, it's him. But also, one of my favourite customers has been a comic book fan for many years. He's one of our older customers. He's lovely. We love him. And many years ago when he used to go to the old comic shop that was in.
Ooh.
He used
Oh, cool.
to
Oh, good.
regularly buy statues. And he always used to enjoy telling me about how he'd go into the shop. And he's a man with a presence. He has a loud voice.
Yep.
He's a big person.
Have you seen him recently?
Yes, yeah, he came in recently.
Oh, good.
And I gave him a big hug because he's super huggable.
Yeah.
And he used to go into the old comic shop and he used to loudly proclaim, "Have you got any more dollies for me this week?" Because he just liked to sort of see people's reactions, because he knew there were statues and collectibles, because he was an old school comic fan and he loved them. But he didn't take it so seriously that he thought I should. These are all graphic novels and things.
Yeah.
He was just like,
That's another one.
they're silly. It's a thing I like, and it's
Hey!
I'm quite content. And it always tickles me when he tells that story to someone.
So
He's lovely.
what else do we have silly names for? Because I seem to remember, like, Gamey Thrones is a fairly recent one, but there was a couple of things we used to just call really daft names. Do
Oh dear.
you remember? Every single time we would watch it, we'd call it something silly.
Did we have a silly name for Charlie Brooker's shows? Or was it just that I sang a song every time we started talking about Charlie Brooker?
I don't know what's going on now. What was that?
What?
My phone just went plong in a way I haven't heard before.
Spelling!
Spelling? What? Why did you just shout spelling?
Spelling!
Oh.
This is an example of Dave not hearing me properly. Happens a lot. He thinks I shout random strange words a lot. Like, no, Dave. I'm saying a normal thing.
No, Dave.
No.
Dave.
No, Dave, I don't randomly say strange things. I'm not 16 anymore.
What did we have a silly name for? I feel like there was a big one.
Oh, lots of things.
Yeah. God, I just learned to ace this a couple of days ago and I've completely forgotten how.
Yeah, pretty well.
Ma! Oh!
Oh, yes. Confusing Star Wars and Star Trek. That's a good one, Chris. It's always nice.
Oh!
I suppose the new one for me now is going to be
Hey!
calling Kazuma-san from, you know, Yakuza. Just calling him Yakuza guy.
Oh no, just call him Yakuza
That's what I mean.
whenever anyone is talking about that game.
Because there's going to be like a nice statue of him. Not a statue, one of those lovely action figures that they make that I really like.
A dolly.
Yeah, a dolly. A really poseable dolly of the guy from Yakuza. I'm all prepped to not know anything about it.
Flip!
Oh, you went.
You went.
You went. You just. And you,
Oh, I went.
oh, Chris, yes. I've got to get on that. Yeah, I haven't done it yet. Oh no.
Yeah.
I hope I've not run out of time to order it. Let me go have a look.
Okay, I know that we're saying Yakuza wrong, but then if we say Yakuza, it sounds like Hermione. You know, we can't do that. We just can't do it.
I hate Hermione sometimes.
But,
Sorry.
but, I have never heard a different pronunciation for Gandhi. What's the real one? Gandhi? Landy.
Okay.
Who's Landy? Is he from Shenmue?
Ooh. Oh, Jahan's gonna. I will get one for Jahan.
What?
Landy's. Yeah, I think Landy's from Shenmue.
Jan is what?
Chris is telling me about ordering the graphic novel.
Oh, you can still get it?
Yeah.
Yes!
That's why.
Oh, I felt so bad when you showed up, like,
No.
only 10 seconds past opening, and they'd all gone.
Yeah, but I would have.
The
never got it
amount
back to you.
of effort that you put in to going and getting this thing, when going at all was not necessarily going to happen.
Like, you know that wasn't the only reason I went to the Transformers convention when it.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting that people actually like those things.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
It's the only way I get to see some of my friends.
Oh.
Like McFeely, who you've got to meet. So you're going to have to come to one of those.
Well,
Thomas Cousins.
I did intend, if you're still listening, Chris, I did intend to go to that one to meet Chris McFeely. That would be my reason for going. But then I realised.
And Jeff.
But then I realised I'm not gonna meet McFeely if I go to this convention because
No, I was
like-
reacting to McFeely, the post there.
oh, what did he say?
He said the neck on that lad.
Because he was so involved in the convention that like I knew there wouldn't actually be a chance to hang out, or at least not when there isn't like, yeah, okay, cheers, I've just got to go and do this. You know what I mean? I didn't want to rush the guy, so.
No, it was. I mean, you knew I was fine going anyway.
Yeah.
Like, I've gone.
Oh, you love TF
I
Nation.
love it. Guys, if you like robots
Beep, bop, boop, boop, and being sad.
and being sad, you don't. Right. You don't have to be sad for every Transformers comic, but.
Oh no,
I like
I'm drowning in
being sad for
gubbins.
quite a few. Chris would have made time for you. He said.
That McFeely, he makes time for you.
Oh, Chris, bless you, you were running
A
out
visit
so
to
much.
McFeely makes your day.
I like that. This is a nice night, isn't it? Oh, it's lovely seeing everyone.
Yeah,
I like you guys.
I like you guys.
Oh, Kyrie, that's so sweet. Kyrie says, I used to make up a ton of silly anime characters and gibberish names that I assumed must be real Japanese.
That's the best. Can you remember any?
Yeah.
That's great.
Sure there are.
So, and because that suggests that like that's a kid watching anime who thinks they're just going blah blah blah, just making sounds up.
It's a nice word
What?
for a made-up word. Kairu.
Oh,
Kairu's not a word.
that's a good one. Yeah, you had me fooled.
That one.
Cairo, what is it? Hakubi or something?
Yeah. I remember
Yeah.
the big, like, the not anime, sorry, manga that I think I went a bit funny for was Battle Angel,
Oh, definitely.
you know?
Yeah, me too. I think that was the first manga I ever read.
Yeah, I'm still really nostalgic for it. Like, even the newer Battle Angel stuff, it's just not the same.
Oh,
There's
well,
something-
no, I mean, it's drastically different and wrong.
I prefer his older style, and I'm not like that usually. I'm all for people, working on their styles. But
Oh, yeah, do what you want.
how his style changed just. Also, suddenly he went super sexy, and he never used to really do very sexy characters.
Yeah.
No, he was all about badass cyborgs just making each other's brains go splat.
Yeah.
No, it was Splork, wasn't it?
Oh, was it?
That was the sound effect they used to translate it to.
See, that's a great example. I want Splork in a manga. I don't want, like, a romanization of a Japanese word meaning
Oh
Splork.
dear.
Hey.
Oh.
Okay. Oh, wow, that was a coincidence. Time over and also landed on a spike at the exact same moment. That's like when you emerge from the water and the music starts again, even though it hadn't stopped.
To be honest, I preferred the original ending for Battle Angel. Like, I know it was rushed because of health issues, but it still worked for me, you know?
It was an ending and it wasn't just about, here's the sex one.
Yeah, well, it suddenly became the newer series, like, had a typical sort of shonen book tournament thing, and I was like, okay, I'm not interested anymore. It was before, like, each volume was about something a bit different.
Remember how cool Motorball was.
Oh man, I mean, I've never been into sort of sport comics, but
Nope, me neither.
Oh, suddenly when
But
it went
that
from
one, oh,
to like super cyberpunk crazy
oh,
rollerblade sports.
oh, it was great. And just the way it was drawn, he just
Yeah, that's
nailed
when
it.
he really, like, his style was just so good.
Tell you what, though, it was difficult to get into his motorball book, wasn't it? Because he would not draw properly.
But that was, I think, one of his early things. And that was him experimenting.
It was. And I didn't like it. It was, I mean, maybe I'd prefer it now. Well, I don't prefer, but maybe prefer to how much I liked it before.
Yeah. Oh, Chris, I know, like, bottomless pit. There aren't many bottomless pit sections in this Sonic game.
No, there really aren't.
Compared to some of the old days.
No, this is an impressive lack of bottomless pits, although there was always a bottomless pit bit in this level when you went outside the thing. And
but then you expected that because you're up in the...
I mean, I don't know if it's a bottomless pit now. Have I fallen down there or not?
I fell down it, I think.
Why didn't that get him?
I think you have to be low. Imagine Rich drawing this thing.
I know.
Right? That's what it would be. Gosh, I mean, I'd love to commission him to draw another Sonic picture one day.
Do it. He'd do it for you.
Smack him to his bum. I can't remember
Wait,
much about
I'm going to take that back because someone watching this might think like, oh, he'll do Sonic commissions, and I don't know if that's the case. He probably won't. Yeah.
Because he makes awesome stuff for 2000.
Oh, they got Knuckles' little face right.
Yeah.
Colour in.
I know! It's just really like chatting to him too much.
McFeely says I had to pack in Sonic Advance when I got stuck on one.
No.
What?
Reacting to that. I can't wait for everyone to see this comic though.
Oh, me neither.
It's gonna be so worth it. Oh. I've got like a few days of intense work.
Yeah.
Really thought bubble time.
Yeah.
It's always a nice adventure, Thought Bubble.
Oh, Thought Bubble is so good. It's like,
I would say TF Nation is like a smaller Thought Bubble.
Yeah.
Just about one type of thing rather than all the stuff that's there.
No, clearly, from what you've said about the whole tone of it.
It's so friendly. And guys, it's so nice that, you'd think sort of the more niche, fan base or convention gets, that it would be, I don't know, feel a bit more exclusive, but no, there's nothing like that with TF Nation. It's just run by the best people.
Yeah, it's just different things. Like, Thought Bubble is a nice convention for like the creative comic set, and TF Nation is a nice convention for babies and jabronis.
Well, this baby made you a pretty awesome meal earlier and a really nice cup of tea. So take it back.
I will take it back to the microwave. Does yours need heating up?
There's no. Yeah. Can you try and kill the spider? Oh, you can. Well done.
Hey, look at that.
That's the best way to do it. Going into puns, deep meaning?
Yes. There's a slippery slide there. No, I don't mean that. I mean there's a tight rope to walk. Well, what I mean is you have to be really careful, because if you go too... You can go too deep into it so that nobody can recognise the pun at all, and that is fine. That's absolutely fine. Or you can make it so that people can recognise the pun, and that's where you've got your tightrope, because then it has to be good. If it's just if people can just tell. So, for example, when I remember, what was the character? Oh yeah, Cruella de Vil. Like, I remember as a kid figuring out that it's like just Cruel Devil written out in a slightly different way. And so I tried to make one up like that, and I came up with I was trying to come up with a man version of that, who was like this, also a cruel devil character. Like it's trying to do something like that. I kind of got it a little bit wrong because I'd heard grown-ups say "you sly devil," and I thought that meant "you evil, horrible man." So I was trying to come up with like Mr. Sly Devil, and what I came up with was like just that. It was just Mr. Sly Devil. You know, it was just spelt weird. Mr. Sly, like SLIE DEVALL or something like that. This was about 8 years old, something like that. And when it came time to doing the Demon Tomato comic that I'm currently working on, I needed that character in it because it's like a mix of all the old stuff that I used to do turned into one big story. And I thought, right, and I tried to come up with a better version of that was like some sort of pun, and I couldn't do it, so I just called him Mr. Cherry Crumble.
Is that really how it started?
Yeah.
Aww.
Because I just thought, let's give him the nicest name I can possibly think of instead.
Cherry Crumble is nice. It is a good name.
Why don't we have more cherry crumbles? Like, we should eat cherry crumbles.
I don't know how to make crumble. I haven't really done that. Ross Original says cherry crumble is amazing.
Yeah.
It sounds amazing. I would imagine it'd be nice with some ice cream.
Oh. Whatever you say, Tam. The first one of these that I ever experienced, by the way, was in the right. The first one of those that I ever experienced was in the Rupert the Bear stage show, which is not one that I go on about very much, is it, Abby? And no. I say that as someone who does go on a lot about some of the other kids' stage shows I saw, such as the Mr. Men ones, the Postman Pat one, the Fireman Sam one. I do. But the Rupert one, it just wasn't all that good. But it did contain the first one of these that I ever heard of, which was basically, I think the Rupert characters kind of didn't really talk. How do I get this block open? I thought as Knuckles I'd be able to just punch it or something, but no. How do I do it? Anyway, the Rupert characters didn't really talk, so they had to invent a random man to just hang out with them on stage, and he was called Mr. E. It was like a mystery. Yeah, it wasn't very good. Just wasn't very good. Rupert could talk, yeah, but in this he couldn't. Actually, I could be wrong there. I don't remember him particularly talking, but maybe he did, and I'm just misremembering. But, you know, I'm picturing it was like a Disneyland costume type thing, and so it was mostly done with gestures. Now, maybe they did a voiceover for him. Basically, I don't remember. I don't remember that show very well, and so I'm just kind of guessing and extrapolating. But they must have had some reason to introduce a random human to the cast. And maybe it was to do the talking, but maybe not. Doodaloo. I forgot what I'm doing. Oh yeah, I'm exploring. Don't they look like pin cushions? So, as old school Knuckles players know, the point of playing with Knuckles is to go the weirdest ways you can think of. And try to find what you couldn't find as Sonic. Oh! Their rendition of doing the Batty Bat is etched into my memory. Start again, Kairu. No, don't start again. I will simply read it on Abby's tablet, which she has left here. I went to several people dancing in costumes to pre-recorded dialogue things as a tiny small child. Sesame Street Live and Muppet Babies Live. I would have liked to see that. Although Muppet Babies Live should have been done with puppets, for flip's sake. Their rendition of doing the Batty Bat is etched into my memory. Yeah, whereas in my day, which was not presumably that much different of a day, but just for whatever reason, the ones like that I saw, they hadn't started doing the mascot character costumes thing yet. And so, the production of Postman Pat that I saw, for instance, I think I've talked about this on the streams just the other day, but it was just an actor, specifically the actor... Oh, what's his name? Oh, it'll come to me. Something like Glenn? No, I'm thinking of Ted Glenn. But it's a short name like that. Oh, what was his name? Come on. Don Cran. Don Cran. The actor Don Cran was just playing Postman Pat. Just as him, like, you know, with his own face. It was him, dressed as a postman, dressed as Postman Pat. And that was how they did it. And, God, that's such a better way of doing it. I mean, alright, if you've got characters that can't be depicted by you... No, but even there, you can still do it, can't you? Like, you can have them... Hey! You can have them dress in sort of costumes that approximate roughly what that person might look like as a human. You know, like that one version of Wind in the Willows. And that one version of Alice in Wonderland. Especially these days, what with everyone being very inventive with, like, cosplay. And we're all used to the... You know, and kids are used to the concept of translating a character into an equivalent costume. I mean, a really great example is Zazu in The Lion King, in the stage version of The Lion King, because there, the guy who plays him... Yeah, there you go, Pogington. Exactly. Exactly. Zazu in The Lion King, if you haven't seen it, is a puppeteer puppeteering a puppet of Zazu. But the interesting thing is that the puppet, and it's an amazing puppet, it really is just great, very, very expressive. But it isn't the correct colours for Zazu. It's like white and gold, or well, white and orange. But it is operated by a man. I think it's as far as I know, it's always a man. There might be a woman who's done it. Dressed as a sort of King's Steward character in a, you know, a little waistcoat and jacket, and his costume is the correct colours for Zazu. Oh, that's cheeky. So, put together, it's an amazing costume. It, you know, really... Come on, how am I going to get up there? It really is a great character design, because it gives you everything about the character. It gives you who they would be if they were human, so you get a sense of, like, you know, of who they are, you know, beyond that they're a bird. And, but also you get the puppet of the bird. It's really good. Right, how have I been doing it just a second ago? Well, that's right, Kairi, but he's the only one that's a puppet. So, you know, well, I mean, apart from Timon, but he's not in it yet. You know, at the start. So, they could have just done him as a guy, you know, just the guy in the suit. I don't know why they decided to make him a puppet. I can't really think of a bit where you need the physical small bird to do anything. doesn't really fly. I mean, he does, but it's not like important to the plot. It's just a way of carrying him, you know. Pumbaa was an amazing cross between the two. Pumbaa was a full-body suit with a man standing in the middle of it, and his legs kind of became the back legs, and he had this. Most of him was like a big rib cage, sort of, you know, just to show the shape of him. And then he had a puppet face on the front, but it wasn't. It was stylized to match the style of all the other costumes and general design of the play, so it wasn't like a Disneyland puppet of Timon. Honestly, it's the design of the Lion King is just genius. Have a little look; it's all on YouTube. Whereas whereas Timon was a full Timon puppet. Again, stylized, but not much. It kind of looked like Timon, but just like with a slightly weirdy face. Which was puppeteered, you know, the head was like a Muppet. You had your hand in the head. But the guy operating him was basically covered from head to toe in green. And his hair was kind of slicked up and green, so he sort of... Basically, he looked like background foliage behind Timon. And his feet were attached to the feet of the puppet, so he would walk this full body thing along, and his elbows were attached to the elbows of the puppet, so he could operate his arms easily. And I think he would hold the left hand, and then he would, you know, use his right hand to do the head. I would love a go on any of these puppets. I could play Timon. I could. I'm decent with a puppet. I can do a silly voice. I can see what's happening, and they don't have a clue. He'll fall in love, and here's the bottom line. Our trio's down to 2. Oh. So yeah, give me interesting, inventive costumes. I wonder if they ever did a Bertha stage show. That would be amazing. Because Bertha, there is nothing in Bertha that couldn't be done as a live-action sitcom. I've said that for years.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah, it would. But imagine a stage version with like a giant machine at the back. Oh, it'd be ace. Oh, imagine that. Love to see that. Very nice. Thanks. He found his aroma lacked a certain appeal. He could clear the savannah after every meal. Whoa. I'm a sensitive soul. That does your throat in after a while. Don't know how they do that every night. I'm a sensitive soul, though I seem thick-skinned. And it hurts! No, I can't do it. And that's not his real voice. He was in Saved by the Bell. Oh, you're right, Abby?
Yeah.
And he wasn't doing the voice then. It's a very inventive voice. It is. Like, now we're used to it, but like, I remember the first time I heard it thinking like, what? How do you choose that? How do you go, oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk like that!
He was such a sweet character, and Timon was such a jerk. Like, I loved him when I was a kid, but what a jerk he was! Ooh, 3 left. Where are they?
I don't know. There they are. Hey! The old technique. Gyro. Bertha is a lovely machine. I mean, there's not much I can tell you about it, but anyone who's ever worked with her will know just what I mean. Bertha, if you've heard of Postman Pat, Bertha was one of the next things Ivor Wood, the sort of puppeteer stroke studio owner. Well, I don't mean puppeteer, I mean like stop frame animator. Anyway, the next thing he did that was a big success. He also did Gran. Did you ever see Gran, Abby?
No.
That was just a.
Super Gran.
The puppets looked like the Bertha puppets, but it was just about this Gran. She didn't have any powers or anything. She was just a nice little old lady. Anyway, so the Postman Pat guy made Bertha, which was basically it was an attempt. I think, looking back, it was an attempt to glorify blue-collar factory work. Which makes sense, you know, Postman Pat, that's a sort of ordinary job. You know, because a lot of, like, heroes and stuff are, you know, big shot How are you supposed to do this?
You need him to boxes and then he loses his arm and then he gets him.
Okay. You know, big shot journalist Clark Kent and stuff like that. Whereas Ivor Wood's characters were stuff that you can just be. And Bertha was about factory work. You know, so he'd done a postman, a grandma, a clown lost on a magic island.
You need to be closer to him.
I mean, he kills me if I'm closer to it. Oh, I need him to get these.
Yeah.
Oh, silly me, okay. Bertha, lovely Bertha, was a program about a factory where everyone was all northern and working class, and which, if you're not from the UK, means they talked a bit like that. I can't do it. I can't do it off...
It's a bit like Wallace and Gromit.
They talked a bit like Wallace. Now, I can't do it off the top of my head, but I can do it with a direct quote. Packing and stacking, no, we don't believe in slacking. We're now land floor and we're always on the go. Packing and stacking, no, we don't believe in slacking. So, that was what it was about. And so Nell and Flo were two characters who literally just stacked boxes. That was their job. And put the labels on.
He is not married in Northerner, thank you. I am Welsh.
Yeah. Southern Welsh at that.
Oh, dear.
Right, I don't care.
You got him.
Now it's off to the left and down a bit. Oh. Ooh. I went it away. I goaded it off. Who else was there? There was the designer. His collar was less blue. There was a sort of inventor guy. There was the foreman.
What's going on here? What's going on here? Duncan is the name. I'm the foreman up in Spottiswood to know the factory game. If there's anything that's worth something, or if something just goes wrong. If there's anything that's what is it? Or something just gone wrong, then give me a shout and send for me. It never takes me long. Hey, what's going on here?
Now,
I like this.
I know that was a bad Scottish accent, but it was an accurate impression of the Postman Pat voice guy's Scottish accent. Yeah, Mrs. Tupoo makes a cup of a lovely fresh brewed tea. Oh, the tea break, lovely tea break. A well-earned time to take your ease and sit around just as you please. I think they would.
Oh, the songs are so good on that album.
I don't think they would use the line "a well-earned time to take your ease" post-90s.
Don't know with her.
With Mrs. Tup.
Yeah. Tea in the morning, but she was raving in the night. Bertha was set it all up for him.
Oh yeah, so I'm explaining what Bertha was. Bertha, and now this is genuinely interesting. This is why I say it could work as like a sitcom or anything. Bertha was the factory's, like, you know, machine that had always turned out the stuff that the factory made. but it had been recently computerized because, you know, this is the 1980s, so it was the age of computers coming in. So they'd put all this computer stuff on the back of Bertha, and it had basically started to come alive. So now, Bertha was this, like, living machine, kind of. Like, she was, you know, like a member of the family. And it was always done with a certain layer of ambiguity. Like, whether Bertha was a character or a machine. But, at one point, she made a son.
Yeah, he's got the best song.
He's got the best song. I tweeted it the other day, but I'll tweet it again in a minute.
Oh, you have to hear it.
Hang on, wait. I'll tweet it now. Hang on. Well, I'll just find my tweet of it.
Morgan just says, is this Black Mirror?
It could be an episode of Black Mirror, honestly.
Didn't we watch someone's, like, little film they did about Bertha going evil?
Yes, we did.
That was fun.
I watched it again the other day. It's quite good.
Yeah.
And the whole thing was voiced by the bloke who... This was what the voice sounded like of one of the characters who was the designer. I'm working on my latest design. It's going to be an act of genius. And it was voiced by... is his name Rory Kinnear? The bloke who's... There's only 4 golden tickets in the whole world, and the whole ruddy world is hunting for them. What can I do? That guy.
Is it that guy? Cool.
Yeah. Roy Kinnear. Demon. Tomato. Dave. Robot. Song. Let's see if that pulls it up. No results for that. Demon Tomato Dave, Robot.
It's alright, Cairo. Most people can't remember where Wales is. I'm used to it.
Ah, here we go. Good news. One of the best songs about a robot ever written is finally on YouTube. Check out at around 1 minute 15, where the singer implies Tom the robot is going to die soon. There we go. I've retweeted that, so...
You should all listen to that.
Yeah, he goes... Oh, how does he go? He goes... I've got to think through the song to get to the right line now. He's a lovely little robot, and he feels just like a friend, and he cares for all the tiresome jobs that never seem to end. Bom, bom, bom. Everyone just loves to see him and hopes nothing will go wrong. And he says it in this really weird, stilted way, like they know he's got some sort of disease. It's great to hear him buzzing round and beeping out his song. Bow, 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 bow. Seriously, don't believe me?
I think your
Go and look on my Twitter.
It's a lot more sinister sounding, right?
No, that's what it sounds like. Go and listen to it. I just retweeted myself tweeting it, so you'll find it on Twitter if you follow me, or my Twitter if you don't, Demon Tomato Dave. Bertha's robot son. Now, it is actually Tracy, the work experience girl, I think, who designs it. And Ross just says, stuff like this. Stuff like this. Oh, Knuckles. What do you do? What do you do? Hey, this is what you do. It was actually Tracy. I don't know if she was the work experience girl, but she was like a trainee designer. She was very much the young blood. Designed Tom, and there's a lovely song on the album. Because right back in those days, this is before they would release this stuff on video, and I can't swear to you they ever released Bertha on video. Oh, come on. I'm sure you can find it now, but I don't know if they ever officially released it. But before VHS was like a thing everyone had, they used to release records, and sometimes it would just be the TV series, but just the audio of it. So I've got the Eye of the Engine tape, which is just like the whole series of Eye of the Engine, or like one season of it or whatever. But just, you know, the audio. I used to listen to it a lot. I can remember it quite well. It was great. It was about they find a little dragon, and there's a guy who's invented a kind of bubble machine that just makes the most incredible noise. It actually was better when you couldn't see what was happening, because there was just this guy doing a faux Welsh accent, going like, "Here's my machine that I've made. Look what it does!" And then it's like, "Whoa, what was that?" "Oh, that's very good! Die the machine! I know it is!" Anyway,
I always liked Fireman Sam.
Yeah. Fireman Sam. Well, that was proper Welsh.
Yeah. It's still cute.
Well, yeah. I'm saying they weren't doing a bad accent there. That was Welsh.
No, but...
That and Will Quack Quack.
I still think Fireman Sam was slightly predominant, you know.
Yeah, probably.
Norman Price!
Yeah, do you know what? He wasn't Welsh, was he? The guy doing those voices. Norman Price!
Maybe not yet.
He might have been.
Yeah, it does have a guitar solo. So let's get to my flip off. There you go.
What has a guitar solo? Fireman Sam?
Yeah.
It sure does. I surprised my friends with that when I hijacked the theatre sound system at my A-level school, and I played it to them over the big speakers, and we all
It just needs a shortcut there.
we all grooved to Fireman Sam.
My precious Norman! Norman Price, more like Norman Bates. He was always getting in trouble.
that's Norman Bates to a T, isn't it? He's always getting in trouble.
Yes! He's always getting in trouble. Norman Bates!
My precious. Oh. Oh no, Sam! I can't go any further! Don't worry about it, Dillis. I can't carry it for you. But I can carry you.
Not much care.
Oh, Sam! I think she did fancy Fireman Sam, didn't she? Wasn't that part of it?
I think everyone fancied Sam.
I fancied Fireman Sam. I didn't. That was just a joke. That'd be really weird if I was 6 years old. Just a 6-year-old perving over Fireman Sam.
Fingers in hand. Fingers in hand. I remember this parody called Alice and Sam, which just played each episode in reverse with new voice acting.
Right. Where? Oh. Parson Sam, that's brilliant. Oh, that's amazing.
Is that possible now?
What?
Having seen The Simpsons ever?
Wait, what? Who's not seen The Simpsons?
Tyra's got a friend who hasn't seen The Simpsons.
I mean, alright.
I think you have to spin it.
I did. You have to get them from above, so I think I can get in through here. But hey. I don't know.
Weird.
What the hell? Oh! This level is getting a bit aggravating, I must say.
You have to be frozen when you slide into a box.
Well, how do you get frozen? I got frozen a minute ago, I just can't remember how. Hey, look at all these Knuckleses.
There you go.
Okay, I'm just gonna let it push me now. There we go.
That is cheeky.
Whee!
There's nothing.
Now, when I started this whole thing, I was going to tell you something about us and our little walks. But I can't remember what it was now. Me and Abby have been on walks the last few days, and we're going to continue to go on walks every morning and be healthy. Not tomorrow morning, though. I'm afraid you might be on your own tomorrow, because I've got to go... I've got to do the... Yeah. And then... Oh, that's a one-time only spring. Spring has sprung. Well, maybe in that case, I will... Ah! Still, it is nice to have these little routes. I do remember in Sonic 3 and Knuckles there would be routes that you'd be like, oh damn, I missed it. And, yeah. It is actually, Poketon, because they first gave me the blue spring, then they trolled me with a one-time only red spring.
Yeah,
Oh, I know, I was going to tell you about Abby's lunch. So, yesterday we went on a little walk, and Abby was walking into the comic shop where she works, and I was just walking with her because it seems only fair. And, oh, give me that ring, give me that. Damn it. And, on the way there, I was being a good husband and that, and I noticed that she had two bags. One that was her bag, and one that was her lunch. And, because women's bags, not always big enough to fit lunch inside. What is the point? What is the point of them? Right, you. At least do something else. Oh, so I was going to get him from behind then. So, I decided I would hold her lunch, and she said, no need. Ah! And I said, nay, I insist, because you're going to have to... I'm only walking halfway, and then I'm going to turn around and go home, so that I walk basically the same amount of distance. And, anyone got an idea what I'm supposed to do? I can't attack him, and he doesn't do anything if I don't. Maybe I can climb and attack him. No. Where do you keep your lunch? Haven't you got a bag? What is the... No, you got that the wrong way around. Has it of use at all? What is the point of it? What am I supposed to do? What was that? What did I do? I just did the same thing.
As he was jumping, you jumped up on him.
Oh, I hit him. I smacked him to him bum.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm trying, Abby.
No, I was reading out what's Chris said.
Oh, okay. Yes, I'm trying, Chris. Oh. Oh! Hey! Unfortunately, I've missed the thing where Chris said what I should do that looks like I shouldn't. Hit him then, I'm guessing. Come on!
No.
Oh.
Wait, what are you doing?
I know, but Knuckles doesn't jump very high, so I can't get him when he's at the top of his arc.
There you go. Ow, something.
Boo! Oh. So I was like,
That music's great.
I will carry your lunch. And Abby went, fine, alright, there you are. And So now I was carrying her lunch, because I thought, look, I'm only walking halfway. She's got to carry this the second half, so I might as well carry it this half. But then we got to halfway, and Abby realised that we were a bit late. So, so actually, she was going to have to catch a bus anyway. Well, fair enough. So she caught a bus halfway there. And I was like, alright. And as she left, I thought, wait a minute, something's wrong here. And I started looking around. I had the sneaky suspicion that she'd left something behind. So she had her bag, and sure enough, there was her lunch in my hand. Or like, on my arm, like I'd put it. It was just a normal, like, shopping carrier bag. So I'd stolen her lunch. Like a big bully. And, so you know what I did? I walked all the way into town. Because you guys are great, but I don't make enough Patreon cash to be just willy-nilly catching buses whenever I want to be somewhere that I could physically walk to. So I walked. And I handed it in, and that meant I had to do double the walks, not one. Single walk. Will you come here? Oi! Flipping heck! Most of my losses here are based on me just being like, I can't possibly be bothered. It is. You're quite right, Ross. Supposedly the sound effects in this fight are from another game. Oh, really? So, all I can think of is like Sonic the Fighters, maybe. Oh, interesting. I like calling it mercy invincibility. I've only heard that before. Oh! Yep. Oh, Shinobi, a completely different game. I'm not. I just noticed that my eyes had defocused and I was just pressing buttons randomly. Come here!
You're not watching for those.
I am, I just don't care. Because if I stay still, they'll get me. If I jump, they'll get me. Yeah, quite right, Chris. Although, getting frozen doesn't actually hurt. Hey! Not bad. Oh! How did I destroy that?
I love this cake.
Oh! 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 Oh, okay, yeah, there is a certain amount of inconvenience to getting frozen. Doodly dip boop doodly. Alright. Yeah. Okay, how did I get him? Not that. Okay, so at first he doesn't throw one, then he throws one. Come here! Hey! Ah! Nice, okay. I'll try and do it properly now. Yeah, but you know, or if you this or if you that, I don't know what it is you can do. Yeah, and that's it. Well, it's time for bed anyway. Twiddly doodly diddly doodly doo.
This is what happens when I can't really help them.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay then. There we go. That's enough knuckles-ing for tonight.
No, we'll get it next time.
Yeah, we'll get it eventually. Next time, Gadget. So there we go. Anything else to do before we go?
That was lovely.
Yes. Doing. Oh, you guys don't know what that is. You'll find out.
They will.
If you join patreon.com/DemonTomatoDave.
Advertising.
Hey, everybody in the chat who hasn't joined us before, you see that link that Astivianus has just posted? That is our Discord. It's where we all hang out between streams.
It is nice.
It is nice. Especially since we've put the boot down a little bit.
Jeez.
And made it nice.
Ross, what the heck?
I don't know. Right, so yeah, I'll see you there. Anyone who's not already there, click that link, off you pop, and I'll see you on the thing.
Get off. Stop tickling me.
Bye.
Bye.
Dee 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 dee. Who's that up there?
It's a video clip.
Yeah, but of what?
I don't know. Can't tell.
Looks like Mass Effect. Oh yeah, look, it's got a little dial wheel. Dial wheel. A dialogue dial wheel. Bye. I'm sleepy. Bye.
Are you still talking?
Yes, sir. Bye.